Welcome to FFT Championship Prime Time, the Week 8 report. We are halfway through the season almost, and man, we've had some exciting action this week. So let's get caught up on. Start with your top five scores. Number 5, Lino from the Merino division is 8-0. We will definitely talk further about Lino again, but is able to put the fifth highest score this week at 180.76 points, led by Jalen Hurts. Your number 4 score is Jeremiah out of the Hallis divisions. He touches out Lino by less than a point. He has 180.92 points, led by his quarterback as well, Justin Herbert. A big week. And CD Lamb was actually his leading point scorer at 41 points this week. Your number 3 scoring team was Zach out of the Dickerson division. Zach puts up 182.56 points this week. He is led by the quarterback position. CD Lamb's quarterback, Dak Prescott, leads the way here. But look at the receiving core. 23 from Gabe Davis, 25 from Jamar Chase, 25 from Jalen Waddle. That's how you put up a high score, isn't it? Number 2 score is Patrick out of the Sayers division. Moves to 5-3 when he puts up 182.62 points, just touching out the number 3 scorer here. He was led the way. Quarterback play, not outstanding on this team with just 18 points, but look at this. The 20-point games from his skill position players. Breece Hall, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Trey McBride, all top 20 points in a solid victory where no one is in single digits on this team. But your number 1 high-scoring team is Mike from the Moss division. The Renegades of Fun had a lot of fun this week, moving 4-4, 192.26 points. Tua throwing it at quarterback. We have Alvin Kamara and Travis Etienne at running back, both playing strong football right now. Stephon Diggs, a down day. Drake London, not a great day. Garrett Wilson ends up with a couple of late catches, getting him up to 17 points. David Njoku, 17 points from tight end position. But look at DeAndre Hopkins, 3-touchdown day for DeAndre Hopkins, 34.8 points here for Mike. And then Jason Myers and the Chargers defense rounds out his squad. Let's look at your closest game of the week. We go to the Brown division. This might be the first time since I've been doing the show. The game hasn't been decided by a single point, but just over a point decides this game. Team, no pun intended, beats Team Ragnarok. That's right, a close one here. And if you look, we have Miles Sanders not even getting any points, but he's still able to squeeze out the win over here. But I have a closest game of the week part 2, to be honest with you, because these teams are both under 500. So it's a good game. It's an exciting game, but it's not as important. Let's stay in the Brown division and look at this beauty. Paige, Azerstatter herself, moves to 8-0 with a 1.5 point win over the B squad. That is right. Look at this game. Only 2-5 coming into the week. This looked like it might be an easier one for Paige, but there's a reason we play the games. She ends up coming out with that 1-point win here to move to 8-0 and remain undefeated on the season, led by the dynamic running back core of Jahmyr Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey. And Joe Mixon even coming in at 20 points right here. It's a team to watch going forward. I don't think I've showed you her roster yet. Very, very good. Still very competitive in this one. So, speaking of undefeated teams, let's look at them. We came in with 5 undefeated teams last week. We still have 5 undefeated teams this week. Lino actually moves up to the top spot. John was in it last week with Lino's number 5 high score. Actually moves past John into sole positions first from my own Merino division. That is right. We have John from the Peyton division, Jacob from the Rice division, Paige from the Brown division, and George from the Sayers division rounds out this top 5. All 5 of these teams have now crested 1,000 points on the season. 3 of these teams are facing under 500 teams this week. Jacob in the Rice division is facing Chad, who's 3-5. Paige in the Brown division is facing Michael Judas, who's 1-7. And then George in the Sayers division is facing Jerry at 3-5. But look at these top 2 games. Let's go to the Peyton division first. John Warner taking on Shane Coyle at 5-3. Shane has been in this league more than once. He knows the deal over here. A strong competitor. This should be a tough one for John. But the game of the week, the one we're watching, is this one right here in the Merino division. Lino at 8-0 is taking on Anthony at 7-1. Anthony, a top 20 team right now in this league. Look at these teams. I want to get the rosters up here. You could see them. Lino catches Anthony on the right week. Anthony does have Christian McCaffrey, so he will be on the bench and not playing. The projections currently have Lino as a fairly solid favorite here with that loss of McCaffrey, clearly replacing him with Roschon Johnson. That's not ideal, but we got Tua in a game I think is going to be pretty much a shootout out there in Germany. Receiving core, kind of thin right now because of bye weeks, because of injuries. We will see if Anthony can keep up with Leno, but this should be a good one. And look at Leno's team is just so good right now. Definitely is the number one overall team. You'd expect to see a bunch of good players here, but these are also players I would expect to be good moving forward as well. So we will see how this game goes. Certainly both teams facing some bye weeks this week. We have some good teams on bye this week, so teams losing players. But should be a real beauty. We'll report back on this one for you next week. And then finally, Team Name Tuesday, Rice Baby. Always one of my favorite players, Jerry Rice. I grew up in the Jerry Rice era, so I know all about Jerry Rice. On top of that, who doesn't like a good Vanilla Ice song, right? Rice Baby. I love it. So good work, Janet. I know I featured that one before. Thought I'd spiral back to it again because it's one of my favorite clips ever in the NFL. So that's all I got for your Week 8 report. FYI, trade deadline coming up this weekend. So be aware if you got to make a last minute move, get it in. Next couple of days, we'll get it approved and taken care of. So hope you all have a great Week 8. A great Week 9 in all your leagues, but especially this one. Talk to you next week.